Hello, my name is Rich Howard, owner of Architectural Builder Supply. This video is to bring you a closer look at the GKL. This is their part number SV1 variety screw kit. Plastic kit, small little carrying handle here, and is going to contain a number of different screws. There's nothing quite like having a box of screws. Over my career, I've built a box of screws and then put it aside and then forgot where I put it and then started building another box of screws. This last week I've discovered one of those boxes of screws. It has to be 10 years old, so now I'm doing really good on screws. It's not very organized, but I have an idea that it's in the box. Well, this is an organized way to have some screws that can very likely get you off the job quick and professionally. So, give you some basic dimensional properties of the item, of the case, anyway, just to put it in some sort of context. About 10.5, about 7.25 thickness of the case, about 1 5/8 inches. So, a couple of snap tabs here. All the screws that are in here are individually packaged. And then there is a legend up at the top that will show you what is in here. And we'll take a look at those quickly. And there's a link, by the way, to the cut sheet below, which we'll look at. What you have, the first in the upper left, you've got some... what you have... is a flat undercut head self-drilling machine screw. Okay. And this item is going to be used typically when you need to repair a hinge installation, or a continuous hinge installation. You've got to replace some screws. It's got a number 12 head, but a 14 body, so it's a little bit larger. So if you are using 1224 screws, and those screws have become compromised, well, you can install the hinge into its prep, into its tapped hinge reinforcement, or into the door and frame that it's applied to. But you've got a slightly thicker body, and that will allow you to remove the old preparation, put in a greater diameter screw, but retain the preparation in the hinge that it sits into because it's the same size head. So it's a 12 head with a 14 body. The next row over is going to be the same screw, just a shorter version of it. These are really handy to have if you're doing door work. Just going horizontally, actually we'll just go horizontally, upper left. Then you have some wood screws, same concept. Thicker body, number 12 head. You'll notice that the head seems to be a little bit weird in the sense of its proportion to the body. That's because it's a smaller head. You'll have it in this zinc finish. You'll have some in what appears to be a zinc dichromate, a little gold color. Next, you're going to have a package of their what would be armor front screws. Screws that are used for mortise locks to hold the armor front onto the mortise case. Really easy to lose these, really handy to have. After that, and I'm probably not going to know what all of these are for, or where you would use them. Got some small machine screws with a hex head on it. I can't think of where we might use these, but they're in there. A little bit small for a door closer arm. Second row, left column. Same concept of the original self-drilling screws. Different. Oh, I'm sorry. These are a Torx finish, is what they are. A Torx head. A pin Torx, actually. I don't know the size. My guess would be a number 25, something like that. A pin Torx security screw. You will have black of the same security screws. Pardon me, they're not security. They're just a Phillips number 14 body self-driller in black. You'll have the same wood screw in black. Moving on down the line here, we're going to have some flathead screws that very likely are a number 6. Package of 10 black and zinc. Just flathead, probably 6 by half or 6 by 5/8. Might come in handy when you need a flathead screw. The next cell over will be the same armor front screws, except in a dark bronze finish. You'll have some what they call round head sheet metal bridge screws. Can't think of specifically where I would use this, but showing them to you regardless. Bottom row, we're going to have some number 9 head with an 11 body gold wood sheet metal screws. We'll have the same concept in a zinc dichromate type finish, or bronze they're calling it. And we'll have the same concept in a zinc finish. Not to be outdone will be the antique brass version of those same screws. So where are you going to use all of these? Well, in hinges, residential applications with hinges. The second to the last will be an oil rub bronze version of that same wood screw. And then finally, you'll have a couple of packages of miscellaneous screws that will have these aluminum shims in them as well. Maybe electric strike work on those shims. If someone were to tell me, I'd say, yes, that's it. But it doesn't come to mind. So 3 of them in the case on the far right column. I can't think of where we're going to use those. Let's switch to the screen view and we'll take a closer look at the supporting information. If you are enjoying this video, please click thumbs up or like, and also please consider subscribing to our channel. Let's move on to the rest of the video. Okay, here's the item that we are looking at. A legend of everything that is included. This is the cut sheet. Okay. We have some photographs of what the unit is. We'll take a look at that cut sheet again. If you had to buy all these screws independently, it would certainly skyrocket past this cost. Will you use all the screws? No. But having an opportunity to use this kit a half a dozen times will pay for itself. Especially these guys. We sell these self-drillers all the time. I stock hundreds or thousands of these screws at all times. That's the underside of the lid, showing you everything in the case. These are the 3 I'm really not sure of. Another perspective on the case, and then our cut sheet, giving you the legend that's in here. Okay, now below this video there is a link to the manufacturer's page as seen here, and when you click on that you can pull up not only all of the GKL products that we sell by means of this horizontal navigation, but also a link to the manufacturer's website as well as a link to the product catalog right here. This product catalog will allow you to review all of the items from GKL. First we get to some Hinge doctor tools. What this allows you to do is to change the swag or the bend on the hinge leaves with the intent of modifying the gap between the door and frame. Kits of that material, they're not inexpensive, I'll say that. But you get into a situation where you need to tweak a hinge by bending it slightly. This will prove to be very valuable to have in your truck. Now a listing of the screws, and you'll notice that the part numbers on the lid of your variety screw kit you're going to find in the catalog. Probably a better description of what the material: replace stripped out hinge, strike, door closer screws, and steel doors and frames, that sort of thing. And here's that SV1 that we're reviewing. A Yankee. Screw gun, those are nice. Yankees are nice because, well, every installation instruction that you're going to get from any manufacturer is going to say don't use power tools to install the hardware. That's why you use a Yankee. You're doing it by hand. You can better address the amount of force. It's harder to cross-thread the tapped holes on the exterior shell of a deadbolt when you're using a Yankee compared to an 18-volt DeWalt. I had to replace 3 deadbolts for a client recently because they cross-threaded the screws. There's nothing you can do. Well, put down the half-inch Milwaukee and do it properly. That's, a Yankee is part of that. You can tell that it's a sore subject with me. It takes time. I get it. I know. I've done it. I've lived that life. I do it. There's a correct way to do it, and then there's a less than correct way to do it. Storefront ancillary material, etc. You get the concept. They have installation aids for people out in the field. The store lifter is nice. We keep those in stock. If you're going to be forced to do a door by yourself, it's nice to have the proper tool to do that. It's awfully hard to get the door lifted that 3/4 inch off the floor up to where it needs to be to get to the hinge barrel so you can swing the door. All right, let's wrap up this video on camera. If you've not hit subscribe yet, we would very much appreciate if you did, and hopefully you're enjoying this video. Now, let's get back to it. Okay, we do keep inventory of GKL items on the shelf, especially the screws that you'll see in steel door and steel framework. Some of the wood screws we have, some of the tools we have, the door lifter, the Yankee I keep in stock. And when enough sales history justifies to bring more material on hand, I do. So if there's something we can help you with GKL, please let us know. And I know that I also have 1 or 2 of those door doctor kits in stock as well. Any questions on the SV1 or any other GKL product, please feel free to reach out to us. And thank you. Again, thank you for watching, and if you've enjoyed this video, please click thumbs up, please subscribe, and maybe even send the video to someone that you know. Thank you.